Hello, welcome this evening. My name is Mark Kerrigan and I have the great pleasure to welcome Dr. Michael Giammatteo this evening. Dr. Michael, great to have you with us today.
Thanks, Mark.
Would you tell us a little bit about your background and why people who are listening here may really want to pay close attention tonight?
Basically, for about 50 to 60 years, I was a practicing therapist, and part of my job was to go into jungle countries and send back healing rites and mechanisms, tapping, swaying, all kinds of things that when you see them in America, they call them different names like instant cure with tapping and theta mechanisms where you lean forward. But the basic thing is, what I learned there was every place I've been, they all have stories about legends, and every legend deals with longevity. And almost every place where they've had longevity, aqua.
Wow.
Water.
And we have a special water here this evening, don't we, Doctor?
Yeah, you do. And that particular water, when I was the co-director of the Longevity Center in Italy, we worked on the concept of longevity, and people don't realize this. Like, you look very, good for the age you are. And Mark, what happens is, people where they have longevity, one of the things that happens is genetics, obviously. The other is they have a family life. They have a close-knit group of friends. They have rituals that they can follow so they don't have to get freaked out and stressed out. But again, the common denominator, after you take DNA and genetics, water.
Now that sounds a little too simple, doesn't it, to most people?
Well, just break
water,
it down.
We're all drinking water.
No, but break down the elements. Longevity, by staying in one place for a long time, a family support system, almost the original soil, water that really is pretty darn good because it has a combination of acidic and alkaline prospects to make you have a complete healthy kind of water, in contrast to one that's been put through a filtering system, 16 feet worth of rock, sand, and it doesn't even filter out what's in the water.
Really?
No, they didn't have all these vitamin pills and all these birth control pills and hormone pills.
Well, people are filtering their water, aren't they, these days? They have these different filters.
You can have
commercially.
filters, but the idea is the water has to be able to be accepted by your system. And to do that, Mark, this water here, is this ionized water?
It is. It's alkaline ionized water.
Okay, picture if I had a marble and I shoot it like that, and I try to shoot it into a thing to catch it.
Okay.
And it can catch it. But if I want the water to go through, instead of a marble, maybe I use like a little BB. Ding.
Oh, so it goes much quicker right through.
Not only much quicker, it has to be small enough to be absorbed.
Oh, okay.
The water molecule is pretty hefty size. So when you break it down, you actually help the person take it in. Our bodies don't take in water by just drinking.
Really?
Oh no, a whole bunch of other.
I think I learned that in school, though.
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't really work that way.
You also learned that if you ate raw food, it would be great.
Right.
That's okay if it wasn't reconstituted raw food.
Although my teacher wasn't a doctor, so I'm glad that you're helping to clarify some of this tonight.
So anyhow, you're into helping people make use of this ionized water?
Definitely.
Yeah, what's
definitely.
the product you have?
Well, the product that we have is called IonWays, and IonWays is actually one of the top ionization processes and systems and companies that's available today. And that's available, and it's helping lots and lots of people have access to this high quality water.
Well, yeah, the Romanians, Russians, and Japanese studied longevity, and that's how they hit on this.
Really?
You filter out all the things that are the same in all places, and then you find out what's different where people live a long time. So if you live a long time, you live a long time, you live a long time, say what's different where those groups live. And if it in other words, if there's this there, this there, this there, and it's the same this, I might tell you about this is a one, and that's a one, and that's a one. If you have three the same ones,
sure,
that's common. So it correlates or relates to, in our case, we're studying longevity. And as I said, Yes, it wasn't as simple as the water. One was, believe it or not, 5 generations in the same place. And I was blessed. My grandmother lived with me till she was 98. My dad was one of my morning receptionists. My son dealt with the book things. My daughter did distribution of my books. And my son's daughter helped. So we had 5 generations. That's one of the criteria.
Wow.
Second is family support system.
Sure.
The third is a belief above and beyond you, so you know that when you're in a real crisis, you have allies. Some people use chanting, rhythmic movement, dancing. Some people use praying. It doesn't matter. Prayer beads, rosary beads.
Meditation.
Anything that has a set rhythmic thing that a group can belong to. Okay. So if you have a set rhythmic thing, you belong to it.
Sure.
If you want to experience something weird, just say your name, but make your name go Mark. What?
Mark.
All right. Just say yours. When he gets to halfway through it,
say
Sonny. All right, ready?
Mark.
Sonny.
Michael. And picture 50 or 60 people in a tribal group doing that.
Oh, wow. So it all connects.
Yeah.
So that's part of the longevity
yeah. So
equation.
I don't want to make it as simple as...
So it's not just water.
Right.
Obviously, there's other things.
Many other things.
But water's one of those things that we can handle pretty easily.
But the water is one of the things you can deal with, and you can use it in a modern society.
I see.
Even if you live alone, because you don't really live alone anymore. It's pretty difficult to live alone. People interact daily with media, and after a while that almost becomes as if it were true. But this is real, and if you drink it, again, the simplest level, molecule, that fat water molecule, now I make it, you missed it. See how small it was?
So Doctor, share with our audience your current age, if you would, because when I first met you, I thought you were lying to me. Because of the choices.
I'm about 8 decades old.
Really?
And I teach dancing down at the El Paseo Dance Studio. I was working with cancer patients, and I've been in the last 3 or 4 Dancing with Our Stars down here. And then I do lectures and workshops on wellness, on vibrational medicine, on healing, and I deal with the whole idea that there are steps to beautiful and loving relationships, human to human, and I'm just appalled at the lack of understanding that you have to have a healthy body to enter into a relationship. Our bodies can deteriorate, and if we're in a loving relationship, the other person doesn't notice it. But if you want to stay as healthy for as long as you can.
Sure. I think most of us would like to do that.
Good water.
Good water.
As many raw food elements as you can.
Raw food.
And try to get the raw food from places where the soil hasn't been so screwed up, you know.
Okay. So not some of these mass farmings, maybe local farms, local produce, things like that?
If you pick up a plant and there's a bug on it, and that bug dies, and that bug in ancient history used to eat that plant, something weird about that plant, man. You know, I mean, it's like the Little Shop of Horrors. I mean,
so it's okay if you have a few little bugs on your plants because that's a natural process.
That's natural. And it's natural for a chicken to have 2 legs. Not to be a little fat butterball thing suspended in there and fed, you know, things that would, well, you can see, butterball chicken, you know. When's the last time you saw a butterball chicken? Yeah, so a lot of times people forget the basic elements. Air, okay?
Sure, the air we breathe, the water we drink.
Yeah. Now just imagine what you've got out there now combating. So you can control this, you can drink the water.
Sure.
You can control that, but you can't control the fault influences like biomagnetic, bioelectrical.
Oh yeah, we're exposed to that all the time, aren't we?
All the time. Earphones that are based on the cell phone technology. When you look at the brain construction, one of the seminars I lead, by the way, is called The Brain Can Do Anything. It shows 9 ways of viewing the brain.
Wow.
You can divide the brain in half from top to bottom, but no matter how you cut it, that electronic thing right there.
Right here.
That creates eventually growth you don't want there.
Wow. Well, let's hold it there for a moment there, Dr. Michael. We're going to take a little break here, and I appreciate that. We're going to come back and ask you some more questions.
You got it.
Thanks to all our viewers.